Hey guys, welcome back to the Punk Rock Condition, where we explore, discover, and appreciate all things punk rock. If that interests you, please subscribe. Here on today's episode, we're doing episode 5 of Flawless Albums, where I outline a record that you can put it on and set it and forget it. No skips, great front to back. And I'm changing up the format a little bit. I'm going to do a little less talking, a little more listening, and try and give you guys a little more bang for your buck, bang for your click, if you will. I'm going to highlight 3 albums, actually, on this episode, whereas in the past I had just dedicated the whole episode to one particular album. But we are going to hit 3 of them today, and I'm going to put them in order of, I'm going to go from least, the one that I like least, to the one that I like the most. But again, we're talking about Flawless Albums here, so we are absolutely splitting hairs. These are 3 records that I freaking love. Need I say more? So let's get started. The first album I want to highlight, and that is Banner Pilot and their 2009 release, Collapser. For any of you guys who might not be familiar with Banner Pilot, they were on Fat Records for a minute. They don't have a big, huge discography. I think they have 3 or 4 albums. And some people might like the Heartbeats Pacific record as their favorite album by Banner Pilot. Collapser for me is their shining star. It just toes that line right between being really catchy and really badass at the same time. I absolutely love it. One word of warning going into this album is that the first time you listen to this record, I don't believe you're going to walk away from it going, oh, wow, that's one of the best albums I've ever heard. Because you need to let it digest. You need to see the nuances and the differences in the songs in order to fully absorb it and love it. It is kind of one note when you listen to it the first time. But, man, there's some standout stuff that'll grab you right away. They're just huge choruses. Really hooky, catchy, sing-along stuff. Love Banner Pilot. So yeah, here we go. Let's check out some highlights from Collapser.
Now that it's my luck, I'm leaving. I met you once when I was dreaming, waiting for a spark to reignite. Lie to me, I love believing. Take the mundane life for a minute, and everything, you're everything tonight. Life asleep with the sun coming up out east. We're driving down Garfield Ave when you said a strange and significant thing again. Remember the words, this was a beautiful night, it was, it would never happen this way again. The story opens up with you, your broken dreams and cheap perfume. You're on a city bus, the rain falls, you make a please, the wind in house, and I stumble along from uptown bars. I guess that's all I got so far, yeah, but at the end, I don't know how. You send me and you say
All right, guys, there's a little preview of what Collapsed was all about. If you like what you heard there on those little snips, go check the record out. It's fantastic, and it just has never, one of the records never got old to me, man. Just never has. So up next, Flawless Albums, I've got a record called Speakers in the Sky by Ezra Kire.
Here we go!
Now, a lot of you guys will probably know Ezra from Morning Glory and Leftover Crack and NDK. You know, he's one of the main creative forces in that whole groupings of bands. You know, he's got a little bit more melodic sensibility to him than SZA or, some of the other songwriters in there. So if you like him, right, and you don't know about this fucking album, though, like, honestly, it's not for everybody. And it's a departure. It's a concept album because he's telling a story here. And it's very poetic. It's stripped down. There's some piano in there. It's almost got a dark sensibility, punk rock sensibility to it that just can't be denied. It's almost like John Lennon wrote a punk rock album. I think there's only 8 songs on it. The whole thing builds and builds and builds as the songs go, both conceptually and musically. This thing, for me, is a special album. It's a fucking punk rock masterpiece. And I don't think enough people know about it. Nothing outside of listening to this thing from front to back and absorbing the lyrical content and the emotional intent is going to do this thing justice. So Ezra Kire. Ezra, my guy. Let's listen to a little bit of Speakers in the Sky from 2017.
Trains never existed without they be made. So sail at our centers. Oh, it's all backward to me. Nothing makes sense on contrary. There's truth in a lie and a lie in belief. Oh, it's all backward to me. Give me my soul back to me. Get away, gone wrong. We will soldier on. Watch the fire spread on, and the weakness grows strong. I will soldier on just as long as my friends, they keep up the song. Soldier on, with the speakers in the sky. Soldier on.
There's the Speakers in the Sky thing. I've read something somewhere that said Ezra, at some point in his life, this might be a thing from his childhood, when he would walk around certain places, especially maybe in the city or something like that. Don't quote me on any of this. He would imagine that the music he was listening to was actually speakers in the sky being played out to everyone in the universe, and the whole world could listen to the same thing at the same time, kind of like Shawshank Redemption or something like that. But that's where the name of this album comes from, like an internal kind of thing that Ezra did in his personal life.
With the speakers in the sky, soldier on, soldier on. Like I wanna take you
I'm telling you, once it gets to that point and you've been bearing with the album and it finally breaks into that part, oh my God, it's freaking good. So like I said, that's not necessarily going to be for everybody. But man, for a punk rocker of his stature, to dig down and really go there lyrically and put himself out there like that, man, you got to respect that shit. And if you appreciate good songwriting, that ain't cookie cutter stuff. That's a composition. And I can't say enough about it. Ezra Kire, anybody out there that like has an infatuation with that album, comes across this video, drop it in the comments what that means to you. Because just listening to those clips there shows me I'm due. I'm due for a sit down and just experiencing that album again. So lastly on the list today, Red City Radio's 2011 debut album, The Dangers of Standing Still.
We're young, impressionable kids. We didn't know any better, didn't know any better than that. In our dreams, we're our future. And as far as I can say, we'll be whatever we choose to be. We'll be whatever we choose to be. We'll be whatever we choose to be.
So this album is one of my all-time favorite albums for sure. So I was immediately attracted to Red City Radio's sound big time, but also like their vibe, man. Those four guys, they just like shared responsibility in an interesting way with all the gang vocals and stuff. The drummer would sing as well. He'd always play with like no shoes on and shit. I don't know. They were just so cool. And this album is insanely good, man. The thing is that you kind of had a dual songwriting, dual singing deal, right, between Garrett and Paul, who left the band right after this album. And they were never the same, to me. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't like Titles and then the one that came after that. Like, I like all that stuff. I like Red City Radio a lot. But they never touched what they did on this album. And I think it was because Paul left. Garrett couldn't kind of do it all himself. He wasn't meant to do it all himself. He's as insanely talented as Garrett is, as a vocalist, as a performer, and as a guitarist. I just think the band was benefited so much from Paul's presence. And it's only really seen here on this album and the EP that they put out before this. That's Sons of Daughters of whatever. The first EP, which is also great. So Dangers of Standing Still. Let's take a couple listens to it. Or let's listen to some highlights here of Dangers of Standing Still.
And it comes to reminds me that our hearts will break down. I was done by reckless youth. The oldest comforts used to soothe. Breaking down the walls that once confined back. I swore that my decision gave you something to believe in. Together we can burn this fucking city to the ground. Together we can burn this fucking city to the ground. Burst into punk, wish I was back in Oklahoma with the thoughts of my heart that are weighing down my chin. Still on a rock, bitch, I was singing on the back street, singing out of myself in situations that I'm in. Down on my knees trying to fight this disease. When I come up for air, it's getting too hard to breathe. Beneath our feet, it's what's beneath this mud. We sing our hearts 'cause the words ring true. Now I told you so, it's just that you know I'm right. The system, it wasn't designed for us. System, it wasn't designed for us. I was laying on the ground, I was looking up. I was walking on the edge without breaking down. But I'm loving the life I live. And if there is a chance this ain't working out, I may be dumb enough not to hear the sound of broken dreams. So make my stand at my very own Gettysburg. This battlefield that's stained with blood. And it feels it's getting harder. Holding my head above water. My sheep led to the slaughter.
All right, guys, so there's a little idea of what Dangers of Standing Still sounds like and where Red City Radio was at back in 2011. So I hope that turns you on to, what do we got? Collapser, Speakers in the Sky, and Dangers of Standing Still. Three of my favorite all-time albums. If you get a chance to listen to them, come back, let me know what you thought of them. And if you already love them, drop it in the comments so anybody coming here can see that I'm not the only one. So yeah, flawless albums. We'll see if this format ends up working, and I'll do 3 at a time. I got a bunch of them that I'd love. I mean, so many that I would like to talk about. So this little more compact format makes a little sense to me. So yeah, flawless albums, episode 6. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys on the next one.